man. Get to 54 degrees.
It's not that cold here.
You got 50. I'm in the garage. It's freezing. Yeah, so
Shit.
let's get the show going. So, yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Got a stogie, yeah.
As soon as you stop being fucking Al Capone.
Al Capone, yeah. I don't even know what that means. I was Al Capone for oh god, like way back. We had to do a thing for school, and we had to dress up as like somebody from like the 20s or something like that. I dressed up as Al Capone. I had my grandfather's little fucking long coat. I had a cigar. I had everything. I was Al Capone.
There you
nice
go.
Story, huh? Yeah.
There you go.
All right, start the show.
I will.
At the show on the road, Toots.
Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar
It's a cigar pulpit, see?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another serving from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of Nick, and with me tonight, we have Nick Squared. We have Nick Gervais, owner of My Monthly Cigars and Fahking Good Coffee, doing his best Al Capone impersonation, apparently.
Yeah, see, apparently this is Al Capone. I think I'm going to talk the whole show like this. Yeah,
maybe
see?
don't.
What do you think?
Maybe don't. Maybe don't.
Hey, coppa, what do you think? Nah.
Not sure that's the best idea.
Nah, so, everybody's tuning off. Everybody shut the dial already.
What a pair of gams on that one.
Ooh.
Anyway.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Tonight, we're going to be smoking a special cigar from Villiger Cigars. We are going to be smoking the Villiger Miami 2023. This is a limited production cigar. Only 10,000 cigars made. It is a size. They're calling
Say
it.
Say it.
Canonzo.
Nah, I don't even know how to pronounce that. See?
Look,
it's a Canonzo.
5 7/8 by 53. MSRP on this cigar is $17, and it comes in a box of 10. Now, the description of this cigar is that it is a medium-bodied smoke delivering notes of leather and coffee at first, transitioning to walnuts with a touch of brown sugar, and then it has vanilla and cinnamon finish. Handmade in the Dominican Republic at the ABAM Cigar Factory. It features an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, undisclosed binder, and filler that is also undisclosed, but with Peruvian tobacco. So that is the Villiger Miami. Miami.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Hey, look at you. You do have one of those.
Yep, I do.
So
$17. I bought my first house for $17. See, it was a ranch. 3 bedrooms.
Damn coppers came and busted the door down.
I had the old lady there one day. She ratted me out. She said I was downstairs making wine. See, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's too late, man. Let's just smoke.
It's time to cut the cigar. And the official cutting is brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder over there at Riverman Cigar Company. And guys, he's got his big event coming up on Saturday, September the 30th. He's got cigar rollers coming. He's got a live music. He's got food. He's got a full humidor. I don't know what else you could want. He's got that 1,500 square foot covered patio. So make sure you bring your lawn chairs and hang outside and have a good time there. Dan always brings out the good cigars for this event every year. So I know there's going to be all kinds of great cigars on sale at Riverman Cigar Company that day. And so if you're in the St. Louis area, make sure you swing by and party. If you're not in the St. Louis area, well, you're missing the party. And, but you can still take part by giving Dan a call because he does do mail orders. So you can get a nice shipment of cigars shipped to you at your house. So you can give him a call, talk to him, Miss Cindy, somebody else there, and have some cigars sent to you because they'll walk you around the humidor over the phone. But that's Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri. And now it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. So I've been looking forward to trying this. I've had the Villiger Miami in the Lancero. This is the first time that I'm trying it in, I'll just call it the Toro size. I know it's got the fancy name, but
I don't even want to pretend to know how to pronounce it.
I was gonna say at this point, I'm gonna go with Toro.
I'm not even sure.
I'm gonna give it a V cut.
Oh yeah,
I am. It's been a minute.
I mean, I gotta go V.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. I don't know what you want to do.
I definitely do whatever I want to do. But
yeah, I mean,
I go V?
V cut. Go V.
You know what? Let's be on the same page.
Go V. Why not?
It's not just a V; it's a deep V.
It is a deep V.
Have you ever seen that skit on SNL? It's one of the best
No.
ever. It's with Ben Stiller
Okay.
and Andy Samberg, and they go
Okay.
shopping Andy Samberg goes shopping for like new shirts with his girlfriend,
Yeah.
and she's like, "How about this V-neck?" He's like, I'm not a V-neck guy." And then it pans over, and it's Ben Stiller with this like gross wet hair, and he's just got a V-neck, and he's like, "Okay, I'll try it." And they have a V off, like the V's
Oh
get deeper and
Lord.
deeper and deeper. It's one of the best. It's really good.
Okay.
So
All right. Nope.
yeah, look
Haven't
it
seen it.
up.
So we'll give this guy a cold draw here. See what we get
Sure.
on the Villiger Miami.
I mean, I'm expecting this. It says medium, right? I'm expecting this to be a straight medium at most. It looks, but that's based on looks, so I'm not gonna judge it yet. But raisin, I get the
I was
raisin.
just about to say raisiny
Yeah.
sweetness. Raisiny sweetness on the cold draw.
Bang!
Super prevalent. Raisiny sweetness.
Well, we are kicking ass right now on
I
flavor
know,
notes,
right?
right?
I mean,
Yeah. We
I
just
changed
finished.
for the purposes of
I did
continuity,
too,
so that it
actually.
didn't.
That and it's cold.
It's like, whatever. All right,
Yeah,
I'm firing
so
this thing up here.
me too. Yeah, so
Uh,
we're talking about the new or the additional podcast bonus
yeah, the
content,
bonus
right?
content, exactly,
That should be
which
out
will be
next week.
available on this feed. So if you get the Cigar Pulpit podcast, then you'll also get that too. It'll come to you free of charge, no additional cost.
Oh, we're not doing a Patreon?
Mm-mm.
Patreon.com. Charge you for the same shit you're getting for free.
Well,
25 cents.
I know I have a problem with that just because, quite frankly, I don't have the time in the day to do what I want to do for this at a free level. So, like, I know I'm not going to be able to have time to do additional work for this if people were actually giving me money and expecting something additional from
Oh,
me.
yeah. Too
So
much pressure. Screw that.
it's too much work. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not going to mess with it because, and also, like, I don't know. There's a lot of tax liability that comes in with a lot of that stuff too, and like somebody was telling me the other day that I guess with eBay now, eBay sends you like a 1099 or whatever at the end of the year.
It's crazy.
You're like, so like they're essentially they're forcing you to do, like, people were getting by with like just doing under the table transactions through eBay. And I guess like eBay is like essentially forcing you to do your taxes with it now.
Well, because they're
And
getting taxed, right? Like
I would
as a
imagine
big
so.
business, they're a business. Like you're doing
Yeah.
business under them. They're paying the tax, and I don't know. I wonder if it has to do anything with like Nexus. Which is so like in the cigar industry, if you so if I don't have to pay a state tax
Yeah.
out of the state that I'm located in. So I'm out of Ohio. I don't have to pay a state tax on cigars I sell in, different states until I hit a threshold. And that
Yeah.
threshold is extremely high. And really, I don't know a lot of people that are a lot of the brand owners probably are paying it. Then they have to cover the sales tax. Because
Yeah.
technically, as a consumer, when you say you buy cigars online online, you have
Yeah.
to pay that sales tax. And now they're
Yeah.
also charging the excise tax too on
Yeah.
top of it, which is that to me is they're just recouping their costs instead of putting it into the price of the cigar.
Mhm.
Because I mean, I pay excise tax. All the brand owners, we pay the excise tax when we purchase cigars wholesale and everything. So it's but that differs from state to state. So
Okay.
it all depends. So yeah, if you look at like the big online guys, you can see their new charges. They have all that stuff, and I think it started like a year ago. And I think that's because of all of those tax laws,
Interesting.
which is wild. Yeah, yeah, because they never
All
used to
right
do
then.
it, right? You never. And why did you think that's why they were in Florida and Pennsylvania?
Exactly. They were dodging a lot of tax stuff. Yeah.
Not anymore. Not anymore. So
Interesting.
yeah.
So right off the foot, I mean, this is an extremely smooth smoke.
Hmm.
This is, I mean, it's drawing wonderfully. And it's a very smooth smoking experience.
The retro right away gives it that a little bit more oomph for sure. You're not getting that on the cigar itself until you retro. It's got a nice little kick to it. I like it. I think it brings
Yeah.
out a lot of it, to be honest with you. And this
Yeah.
cigar, this is like smoking a fucking coffee table leg compared to what we just smoked on the other
That's
show.
true. That's true.
This thing feels so thick in my hands. That's what she said.
That's what
But
she said.
every night, baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is
Um,
crazy. It feels so because what did we just smoke? Like a 40,
yeah, like a
we
40.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, it was bigger than a 38, so I'm guessing
Mhm.
like a 40. Yeah. So we've gone from a 40 to a what I say 54? Yeah,
So
53.
this is
So
53.
yeah,
That's an
53.
odd
So
size.
yeah, you normally see 52,
Yeah.
54.
Yeah.
53. It's kind of that little in between there. It's interesting. But
Wonder if I was
um
I wonder if it was a happy accident, something like that, or if it was on
maybe.
purpose. You have to ask
I don't
Renee.
know. It's unique. Well, the reason that we are smoking this is I did want to give Renee a shout out because Villiger, as a sponsor of the show, they were very generous and they sent me some awesome I don't want to say prizes, things for goodie bags. I'm not going to necessarily get into exactly what. That's going to be a surprise.
I saw
But
it.
you saw it. And but
It's
no, we
awesome.
have some awesome stuff for the goodie bags for everyone who attends Pulpit Fest. So Pulpit Fest is coming up rapidly Friday, Friday, September 22nd.
Get your
I'm like,
tickets now for next
shit, man.
year.
I don't say fucking February. Nobody wants to come to St. Louis in February. Friday, September 22nd and Saturday, September 23rd. So that Friday night at Top Shooters starts at 4. That's where I'll be giving out goodie bags to everybody attending. And let me tell you, Renee, you stepped up in a huge way that I did not expect, and I'm extremely grateful, and everybody else attending will be extremely grateful too. So big shout out to Renee and the fine folks at Villiger Cigars.
Yeah, very,
But
very, very generous. I saw it, guys,
yeah,
and it's worth way more than the price of admission to this thing, which of course is free.
I was like, considering
So
it's free for sure. I was gonna say,
this should make
but
up for Nick not paying for your hotels and the party bus and all that.
I would
So
hope so. I would
yeah, and
hope
we
so.
thank Renee for it. But
Yeah,
you're gonna
no,
be happy you got this instead of all that other shit.
yeah, this is
Pay
way
your own
better
way,
than.
you goddamn grow up.
I mean, yeah, look, come
Be an
on.
adult.
The cost of hotel rooms have skyrocketed. The cost of
Yeah.
gas is skyrocketed. Dude, gas. My God,
Out of
gas around
control
here
now. It's just
has, dude, yeah,
when?
it's
When
like
did it
$4.
happen?
It's like $4
Oh,
all
yeah,
of a
it's not 4
sudden.
yet. Here.
Oh no,
Mm.
dude, today I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I was doing my deliveries today, and I came to a gas station on one end of town, and it was 388. And I'm like, man, I could do fucking better than 388. I'm gonna go to the other side of town where the other gas stations are. Went on the way to the other side of town, and mind you, I'm coasting on fumes at this point, so I had to get gas on the other side of town since I
Uh-huh.
made this commitment. Fucking $3.99. So I
Jeez.
crossed the town to find that it's gone up another dime. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, okay, I guess I'm getting it for $4 a gallon. It was a
But here's the
$72
thing.
bill up.
So
So
not to
pissed.
sound like, not to justify it because there is no justifying it, but if you think about it, you just spent an extra what, $1.80? I don't know how big your tank is. I'm assuming you got an 18-gallon
18,
tank.
18 gallon
So you
tank. Yeah.
spent an extra $1.80
I
in
know.
the grand scheme. It sucks because that adds up.
But see, the sucky part is had I been able to, or had I thought ahead and crossed the river and gone over to Missouri, where it's I think 3.59 a gallon. I mean,
yeah, that's about what
now
we're at
you're
right
talking
now.
now you're talking 40 cents difference between
Yeah.
the $4 and that. I mean, 18 times 40. I mean,
Now
there
you
are
can buy
40
a
cents.
fucking king
I
size
mean,
Snickers bar with that. That's a big difference.
that's a solid $5. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
$5 every fill up, I fill up what, twice a week? I
Oh wow.
mean, $5 every twice a week. Now you're talking $10 a week, 52 weeks of the year.
You get a lot of
Yeah,
gas, bro.
it's like $500 a year just in that additional money that I'm spending in Illinois versus Missouri. That's why I jumped the river.
It's wild. Yeah, I
You
don't
jump.
know. All of a sudden, speaking of jumping, like the prices just jumped. All of a sudden,
I
I don't know
know.
what happened. Like I just all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, wow. When did it come? Like it's like
I
350
know.
something around here, and I'm like, it was just literally like 329. I feel like a
I
week
got
ago.
a friend of mine who's right now down in Dallas, and she found it for $3.29. And I was like, oh my God. She's like, is this cheap? I'm like, yes, that's
Yeah, it
cheap.
is.
That
Send
is
it up.
way cheap. Get it there.
Send us some.
Get some big old barrels and load them in the back end of your car. Wait, I think that's probably a bad idea. But anyway.
USP, yeah. Send it through USPS. Fucking.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Why would you drive it up?
Whatever. Every throw it in the milk jugs. Get some milk jugs. Just bring them out that way. Yeah,
it'll last. Your car won't stink. None of that.
Nah. Just don't slosh it. It'll be fine.
Drive safe.
Drive safely. Don't take your corners too fast. It'll be fine. No big deal.
Whatever.
Yeah, dude, it's getting ridiculous these days. I mean, I got a letter in the mail the other day that my rent at my place is going up by $50 starting in November. So, now granted, I complain about that, but in the grand scheme of life, my rent is very cheap in comparison to other rent. And my neighbor and I were talking about that before you and I sat down to record, how he got the letter too. And he's just like, yeah, I know. He's like, it sucks, but at the same time, it's still cheaper than anything else you can go out and find. And I'm like, no, there's some truth to that. Now, do I wish my landlord would, I don't know, replace all the fucking windows and the drafty ass patio door, so that my heat bill doesn't go up by $200 a month starting November? You don't
have to.
I do. I wish.
You don't have to. He's gonna get a renter either way. So
I know.
That's how it
But
goes.
he's citing like economic reasons. And the thing is, I know for a fact, because I talked to his brother. His brother built this place in 1985. So like this place is long paid off. So it's not like he's got a mortgage on it that he's needing to adjust for or something.
Yeah.
So like he's just been renting it for like 40 years. So it's like, come on, dude. Like, you're nickel and diming me. But whatever. I'm bitching about my rent. The rent's too damn high.
So the rent's too damn high. Gas is too high. What else are we going to bitch about today?
Food.
Yeah, see, get yourself some food for it's real expensive.
Going to the damn grocery store requires a loan these days.
You need a job there, Nicky boy? You can have your run numbers for me. See, run numbers every day.
There you go. I will say I went to this one grocery store near me and I found that they have a cabinet humidor up near the cash registers. It's good to know because in the town that I was in, there's no other place to get cigars. I mean, short of a gas station where you're going to get like Black and Milds and that kind of shit. But like, there's no other place to get cigars. So like, that was kind of nice to learn that was there. Granted, it's a lot of like Altadis General type products, maybe a Fuente or something. It's
there.
It's the big boys, but it's there, So it's something that I'm now aware of. So that's kind of nice. It's always nice to know your options.
Yeah.
So
get yourself some groceries and a cigar.
Right. It's not a bad
expensive. Overpriced for where they are?
Slightly, but I think it's one of those things where, it's one of those deals where there's no other competition around. So, I mean, why not,
Right.
But even realistically, it was overpriced to see, I don't know, maybe not, because I don't really shop those brands all that much. So realistically, I don't know. It felt a little high for some of those brands, but that could just be my own personal bias coming into play.
Sure.
Yeah. So maybe not. I don't know. But no, it wasn't bad. On my side of the river, I tend to just hit Total Wine. There's not a lot of options on my side of the river. I have to jump over to Missouri. That's where all the cigar shops. I think there's like maybe there's 1, 2 maybe on my side of the river. Yeah. After that, you got to jump to Missouri. So I don't know. Whatever.
Need more shops by your van.
Dude,
down by the river.
The problem in Illinois, there are so many problems in Illinois, but like anybody starting a cigar shop in Illinois is just ignorant because the laws are stacked against you. You're not going to be able to make it work.
No. Right. Well, I mean, it's tough either way, like especially now prices on everything the way they are, but hey, listen, for those of you who tuned in to hear, two yentas bitch about pricing.
Yeah, we're bitching about money.
Goddamn kids. Rock and roll music. I don't know where that came from, but yeah. You know what I've been doing?
What have you been doing?
Trying to figure out what the fuck I've been watching. I am not prepared for any
You want to get into that already? I mean, my God,
no, because I'm not ready.
We're only
I'm-
19 minutes into this. You can't be ready to do that already.
Oh, we're 19. Oh, so we're almost done.
No, not quite. This isn't a Nick solo episode here or something where I go
Oh,
super short with it because it's like just me yakking. Like
yeah.
this is a Nick squared where we're supposed to have witty insight and fun
And,
conversation.
and apparently 3 hours of content. So
Yeah, no
let's
shit.
see what we can do. Let's see what we can come up
Well,
with.
we're doing our typical thing where we don't really have much to start with and then we stumble into something. But
We're gonna fall into something for sure.
at some point, I don't know.
There are a couple things I would like to fall into, but I wouldn't put it on. I wouldn't record it.
I don't want to do. There's a couple things I'd like to fall into too, but I don't want you
Yeah.
anywhere near it when that happens.
I think we're talking
Did
about
you?
women
Okay,
now.
so
I
like
wasn't, but you are.
totally random subject.
Of course.
The Webb telescope. All right,
Webb telescope.
it's WEBB. It's named after somebody. The Webb telescope that NASA has, where they've been getting these pictures, these awesome like space pictures. Right?
Okay.
They found a planet
Bigger than Earth.
No, but
That's what I thought I saw.
But it's like it's the kind of planet that they think could support life. That they're now
Exoplanet
looking
K2-18.
B. Is that it?
18
218.
Bs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
the one. So yeah,
habitable zone.
yeah. And they're saying that like it's got like oceans, and they're thinking that and all that. And so it's one of those things where they're thinking where now instead of looking for necessarily like the types of particles, they're looking for elements on the planet that would make it hospitable to life, such as like oceans and that sort of thing.
What? So could we
Dude,
like move there?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to figure out if the atmosphere is good for us and everything. And also, let's be real. I have no idea how far away this thing is. It might be one of those things where it takes like multiple generations of people to live and die in a spaceship to before we actually get there. But
Kind of like the olden days when they come over, like on a cross from California to
yeah,
Massachusetts on a wagon, and like 6 people in your family die on the way there.
of dysentery.
Yeah,
Fucking Oregon Trail type shit. Nah, I figure before long we're gonna be like in Wall-E. We're just gonna be a bunch of fat fucks living in little motorized scooters in a spaceship with like robots feeding us and crap because whatever. But
this is
I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool. And it's one of those things where NASA is kind of getting I feel like SpaceX and some of Bezos and his penis rocket and various things like that, there's been a lot of like attention to space travel, and the private companies have gotten a lot of press and publicity. NASA isn't necessarily going up near they're kind of farming that out, but it seems like the research side of things with NASA has been like amped up, and you're hearing more and more. And I find that to be so fascinating, just the shit. And that Webb telescope, man, they're getting some awesome stuff from that.
Do you think they're trying to keep up to like be relevant?
I
mean,
think
NASA's not ever gonna not be relevant. But
I think what you're seeing is you're seeing a shift. Whereas before NASA was like the place, it was just like everything happened at NASA, be it research, travel, whatever. I think what you've had the market come in and basically say, we can do space travel and we can do it cheaper and more efficiently and blah blah blah. And so NASA is kind of sitting back going like, I mean, I'm guessing this. Maybe it's a giant race, and maybe NASA's super pissed at, SpaceX and Bezos and all the rest of them. But what I suspect is that they've kind of looked at it and said, look, we have a finite budget. Instead of blowing all of our budget on both research and space travel, let's let SpaceX go and do some missions and do the travel portion of it. And then at the same time, we can concentrate heavily on research and that sort of. I think it's a public-private partnership. I think is where I think this is all heading. That's just my guess. I don't know, but I find it fascinating. I think it's really cool.
It's interesting. Yeah, no, it can make sense. It's almost like let those guys. We're gonna figure out what's up there, but let them waste the manpower to try and get there.
Yeah, let them waste the money and the manpower,
after.
and at the same time, then we'll come along and we'll tell you what it is.
Did you see those? Did you see? Speaking of like space, did you see those Mexican alien bodies that they rolled out today? I don't know if it was today or
No, I have
recently.
no idea what you're talking about.
You'll see it. They look like little ETs, like gray ETs, and it's fake. It
I've been
turns out it's
talking
pretty
and my
fake.
cigar went out, but
That's okay. It's fake. But it was funny because like throughout the morning, you're like, holy shit, here comes these. They open these boxes up like they were freaking
I
shoe
will
boxes.
say I do think the government is very slow walking the reveal. I think that they are slow walking it. I think that eventually it's going to come out. But I think it's one of those things that they don't want to just put it out there, be like, here's ET guys. And suddenly we're all just like, holy fuck, and flipping out, running
Well,
out of
they
toilet paper
also
in the stores and doing whatever else we do when we panic.
think about it too is they gotta space it out. Like, because when something bad happens, they want to divert your attention. They got to do
Mhm.
piece by piece. So,
Yeah.
not to get political, but that's
Oh, they
really what
totally do
happens.
that.
That's how the
It's
machine
like the whole
works.
thing about, releasing bad news on a Friday because nobody's paying
Yeah,
attention. Dude, a Friday on a holiday weekend is an awesome time to release bad news because
yeah,
nobody gives two shits at that point. But yeah,
sure.
no, it's I get what you're saying. So
It
yeah,
does
I
make
don't know.
sense.
But
Yeah.
it would be interesting to know if I think we're getting closer. I think will I know with 100% certainty in my lifetime? I don't know, but I do think that we're getting closer to the point where we have an idea if or certainty one way or the other.
You
Well,
mean
maybe not one
proof?
way or the other.
Basically, is what you mean.
Proof
Proof.
of
Yeah, yeah.
that we're
We
not
have
wrong.
ideas. We have suspicions,
Oh
and
yeah, I mean,
many
I
people
hope.
know, and that's it. I mean,
Mhm.
there's government officials that know whether it's true or not. They're never going to say it because they don't want to create a widespread panic for no reason.
Well,
Think about
let's
the
be real,
doomsdayers. They'll
dude.
fucking
Let's
shit their
be
pants.
real. We saw what happens in this country in this world when a widespread panic takes place, and that was COVID.
Sure.
We saw that, there are some people that speculate that was all a psychological test and all this kind of shit. I don't want to go that far. There was something. I'm not saying that there wasn't, but the thing is we saw how humanity reacted to
Hmm.
that, and we failed. We failed.
Just
You
wasn't
know,
prepared. Like, well, yeah, I see
that's
what
my
you're saying.
point. We weren't prepared. That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying, is that we were not ready for any sort of mass issue. And we panicked, we bought toilet paper out, we did this, we did that, we flipped shit about I can't go anywhere. Hell,
Mhm.
I mean, it's just interesting. But yeah.
So let me ask you this about alien related. Let's say, why are they coming here? Are they coming here to teach us, to help us, or to take us over? Why do you like?
I
Why?
mean,
Then
dude,
I have a second question on that.
it could be A, B, or C. Here's my
Hmm.
question. Are they actually coming, or are they sending, like, I mean, let's look at the Air Force, for example. We have pilots in the Air Force that are struggling to maintain their accreditation because they're not getting enough flight hours because we're using so many drones. I
Mm.
mean, are these ships that we're seeing in these videos that are being released, are they actually piloted spacecraft, or are they just alien drones that are coming in and taking pictures and video and shit like that of us
Hmm.
and sending data back to either a mothership or the home planet? I mean,
Hmm.
for all I know, we've never been visited by an actual alien so much as we've been visited by alien technology.
Sure. Well, you've seen those things. You saw that video. What was it? The unacknowledged, I think.
Yeah,
I had you
something.
watch that.
Oh,
The guy
yeah,
was
you had me
talking
watch
about
that.
how they're light years. They're like 50 years ahead of us technology wise.
Mm-hmm.
They being who the fuck knows. But here's another question. Aliens do come and they
Oh,
take us
the
hostage, right?
slight pepper quotient to the retro
Yeah.
hail there as
Okay.
it picked up. Not to, like,
So
not talk about cigars for a moment.
aliens come in,
Yeah.
they take us hostage. You could be a slave to them or you become food for them. What do you want to be?
Oh, slave all day.
Yep, me too.
Dude, the top two ways that I do not want to die. Top two ways I don't want to die. Number one is I do not want to be burned up in a fire. I understand that after a while your nerve endings burn away and apparently it doesn't hurt anymore. Fuck that. I don't want to be a marshmallow. I don't want to be crispy. The other one, I don't want to be eaten alive.
Well, one
And
is, yeah, I mean, one's more realistic than the other, unless you're around like crazy animals, right?
I'm just saying, shit happens, you know. I was
What
out
about
here on my
drowning? I don't want to
see,
drown.
I don't want to drown either, but like that's probably number 3. But
Yeah.
realistically, like, take this for what it's worth. I don't know how anybody can say this with certainty unless they like technically drowned and were revived somehow. But from what I've read and heard, at some point when you're drowning, the panic subsides and you just go into this euphoric, blissful state, and then you just kind of like sink away.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's accurate because again, I don't know how you would know that unless you've drowned and like somehow came back, and I don't know what the likelihood of that. But maybe you came danger close to death and whatever. I don't know, but
I don't know. I just don't see
I
myself
but I don't
not
want to do
panicking
that.
like an ass.
Nah, I don't want to do that either. I mean, there's a lot of ways I don't want to go. Look, there's only like one specific way I want to go. I want to fall asleep and just not wake up. You
Yes,
know,
I'm all for that.
that is the ideal way for me to not go or for me to go. But whatever. This is fucking morbid. But going back to
Yeah.
the animal thing, dude. I was sitting back here on my patio just a few nights ago, and it's dark. I have the ring light on now, which is why it's bright and whatever. But I was sitting out here on the patio. It's dark. And
Chupacabra.
dude, no,
No. Okay.
back by the pond area,
Pepper.
I hear um a low growl, and I'm thinking like, what the fuck is that?
Maybe
And
you
then
were
I hear,
hungry.
no, I heard another thing which sounded kind of like a cat hiss. I don't know, but then I heard a fight, an animal fight. And
Mm,
you know how when
I've
you hear
heard
two
those.
animals,
Yeah.
you know how when you hear two
Yeah.
animals fight, like you can tell these animals are fighting, they're growling, they're angry at each other, they're
One
doing
of them's
whatever.
dying.
One of them lost, I can
Mm,
guarantee you, because I heard it lose.
mm,
And the growling quickly turned to a whimper, and then it became very, very silent. So
weird.
somebody lost, and I do not know what was fighting. I don't know what took place. All I know is something won and something lost, and I don't know what won, but it was an animal.
You
And
peed your pants and ran inside.
I did not stay out very much longer. No,
Yeah.
that's true. Because I mean, dude, I hear coyotes out in the distance here a lot,
Hmm.
and that sort of thing. There was one night I was out here on the patio, and where I'm sitting, you can see it behind me. I have the storage thing. Well, over here, let's see if the camera. I did.
Yeah, I
Sweet,
know.
the
It did.
camera followed. So there's the pathway that leads back to the other back part of my patio. So I'm sitting underneath the carport here, and I heard the coyotes out in the distance. Didn't think really much of it. At one point, though, I out of the corner of my eye see movement, and
Mm.
peeking around this corner, around like it was around the backside of the storage thing, peeking around at me. I look down and I see, my brain didn't process it right away, but it was a dog.
Uh,
And dude, I'm not ashamed to admit, I fucking screamed because you know what? I scare easily. I
high
screamed.
pitch. High pitch.
I'm
Wheel.
not gonna, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. All I know is I screamed, and I will never forget the look on that poor dog's face of just utter and complete panic,
Hmm.
because he was looking at this guy, and all of a sudden this guy just looked at him and just fucking screamed, and he took off running, and I got up and looked, and it was this white dog. I'm thinking that this dog probably, I'm thinking he got loose from somewhere.
Hmm.
I tried calling him. He obviously did not come back to me.
No, I
So
wouldn't
I
either.
so I feel bad because I'm thinking, oh man, somebody lost their dog, and I could have possibly like helped, and instead I screamed at it and it like ran away. So I don't know whatever happened to the dog, but that's what happened. So no,
Get a
I'm
scared
concerned.
turtle popping out your ass there for a second.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Mm.
Yeah. No, don't coyotes don't go up to humans though, right? I feel
Not
like they
unless they're
don't.
rabid, I don't think. I
I
mean,
got no clue.
most animals don't mess with humans unless they're like rabid. I mean,
Hmm.
bears. I mean, big bears maybe. If they're bigger critters, they'll come at you. But your
bears.
average
Beasts.
woodland creature, not so much. But
Yeah,
I don't know. What do I know? But
I don't know.
I
I
don't
know
remember where
nothing.
I was going with that.
Who the fuck
The
knows,
food. You
man?
asked about the would
Oh,
I
if
be
you
their
wanted to be
slave or
food
would I
or
be their
yeah,
food? And what I'm saying is I do not want to be eaten alive. So
yeah,
realistically, no, I would not want to be their food. I
no,
would not want to be their food.
no. I'd want to. I'm down for being a slave because I want to know what the fuck's going on. Because there's always
Well,
that hope at the end of the tunnel, that light at the end of the tunnel, the hope that you can get out of that and
I
come
was
back and
gonna say
tell your story.
there's always the prospect of a revolution. You never know. I mean, it could go
Yeah,
well or,
we
whatever.
could partner
But
up. I think that'll be a good partnership.
right?
I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
But see, we're also assuming the aliens are going to be bad. For all we know, it's going to be like the
Oh
sweet,
yeah,
like,
I got no idea.
live long, prosper Vulcans coming down to,
Hmm.
like, enlighten us and everything. I mean, I don't want a bowl cut, but I'll hang out with some Vulcans. I don't care, you know?
This is the part where we get into the nerd talk.
Yeah, it comes
We're talking
later in the
Star Trek.
that comes later in the Villiger Entertainment
Oh
Report.
God.
No, I've watched enough I've talked about that on here recently,
Hmm.
and I there's no new Star Trek for me to consume at this moment. I have been consuming some old Star Trek, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So,
Please don't. Please don't. I'll tell you one news story that's blowing my mind. Have you seen the stuff that's going on in Vegas right now with MGM?
no. Mm-mm.
So all the MGM. So anybody out there listening, here's a PSA for you. If you have stayed at an MGM property in Vegas, I don't even know, within the last year or two, maybe even longer, who knows? Keep an eye on your credit cards that you used.
Oh shit.
MGM Properties was hacked. Their
Oh
whole systems were hacked. So
no.
since Saturday, places like Aria, MGM, Bellagio, Excalibur, their systems are down. Slot machines are down like crazy.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
Oh
They're
no.
not expecting this thing to be fixed for a couple of weeks. And what they're doing, what the hackers are doing, is what they normally do. They have all guest information. So
Uh-huh.
I've been reading some things where people are like sending private messages, like, please don't give my name, but here's what's happening. They'll like
Yeah.
go check your credit cards. What they're doing is they're making like, like normally when they steal a card, they'll like do a
Little
one to five,
purchases.
$1 to $5 just to see if it works. And then if it works, they just get boom, just gonna go
Just
right
go to
after it.
town on it.
Yeah. So
Oh shit.
yeah, it's crazy right now. Supposedly some Russian group called Cat something. It's like a catwalk or something. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it, but it's crazy. So if you stayed
I'm
at an
trying to
MGM property,
I'm trying to think all the places I've stayed out there in the last handful of years.
yeah.
Um
Luckily, I haven't stayed at a MGM property.
Bally's, Harrah's,
I don't think that's part of
the
it.
not the Win, but the Encore.
No, it's
I
not part of it.
did stay at the Trump,
Sahara.
Sahara,
Yeah, I think those are all clear.
Planet Hollywood, but that's a Caesar's property.
Yep.
Yeah,
And supposedly
I don't think I've stayed at
Caesars.
any MGMs.
No, that's good. So supposedly Caesars had a hack at one point, and they paid these hackers millions of dollars to just like stop. So it's kind of like a precedent that was set. So they're talking
Well,
about that
and I
this is
know
going
that
to happen with MGM.
oh dude, that happens all the time. I mean,
Hmm.
there are local governments in Illinois, counties, not like
Hmm.
the state, but like they'll pick a county and they'll just lock them down. And there was one, it was like one county over from me actually,
Hmm.
Clinton County, small farm county. I mean, it's a rural county, right?
Sure.
And they locked them down and basically said, we want, so much in Bitcoin.
Oh
And the
wow.
county, they hemmed and hawed so much that by the time they decided to go ahead and just do the Bitcoin to, like, pay it and take care of it, the
Yeah.
price of Bitcoin had gone up. And so basically the hacker people were like,
Oh God.
no, now you got to give us this much Bitcoin because you waited so long and
Wow.
everything. And so, like, oh, it was a whole thing. But yeah, no, I'm telling,
Wow.
this is a major issue all over the place that you don't hear about on the regular. Um, but yeah, hackers are taking over all kinds of shit, and so many people just pay just to make it go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. Oh, Caesars is part of it too. Caesars Entertainment. Um,
Oh
yeah, God,
no.
it's wild, man.
So
I
wait,
think
so Caesars is also locked down and like, whatever?
I gotta look at that more.
Because that's all
MGM,
sorts of not good. Because like,
MGM and Caesar Entertainment paid
oh
hackers
fuck.
who hijacked their systems and shut them down. The FBI has known about the group behind it, but can't catch any of them. Interesting. But I did. Oh, they're called. Shit, what are they called? Where's it here? I mean, it was Black Cat. That's the name of the group, Black Cat.
Wow.
Supposedly, this is what it says, but it says all the ransomware group did to compromise MGM Resorts
Oh
was
Lord.
go on LinkedIn, find an employee, and then call the help desk. So they must have, my guess is if that's the case, they must have pretended to be an employee. They must get that employee's information,
Yeah.
hacked their computer, and then just called the help desk and was like, "Hey, blah blah blah, I'm an employee," and that's my guess if that's true.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
It really makes you wonder, like, with the amount of security that these casinos have for preventing fraud and theft and
Yeah.
gambling, cheating, and whatever else. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you'd think they'd have their own like back of the house shit like locked down tight. And it
They
sounds like,
they have it, but it's not good, right? It's
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So I don't think this is going to be the last time it happens. It might be though, because I'm sure more cybersecurity companies are going to get involved, and they're going to make a ton of money now
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
can fucking charge whatever they want.
Well, and for fuck's sake, I mean, it's Vegas. I mean, like, you got to keep that safe. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of money flowing out there. And
Hmm.
man, talk about a town that just keeps getting kicked in the balls. You know?
But still survives,
Yeah.
because I mean that listen, they don't survive because people win all the time, you know.
Hmm.
It's a place where the odds are not in the Joe Schmo's favor.
I will say, man, like I don't know, maybe you disagree with me. It does feel like that town has gotten more expensive over the last couple of years.
Oh
I
yeah,
know we could blame
it has.
inflation and everything like that. I still think at the end of the day, a lot of these brands are charging more for stuff in order to recoup funds that they lost during the COVID years. Um,
Possible.
it
It's
kind of feels
possible.
that way to me.
But let's
Um,
not forget too, they also got a lot of the
they did.
funding, so they recouped more
Well,
than
and
enough.
that's where I question, like, if they are doing this to recoup COVID losses, yeah, have we started to get to the point of like we can do it because we can do it,
I think it's always
but
been that way.
but on the flip side, maybe keeping it more expensive to go to Vegas is not a bad thing because you and I talked about it back in I
A
feel
couple
like it
years
was
ago.
May of 21
Yeah.
when we went out to TPE.
Yep.
That was the time of the $30 flight, $30 room, $30 whatever. And you said it then, and I 100% agreed with it. $30 flights, $30 rooms equal $30 people.
Correct.
And that sounds really like snobby,
It
but
does, but it's the
but it's
truth.
100% true. I have never,
Right.
in all the trips to Vegas, I've never seen some of the like just utter trash, like walking around in these casinos, like shirtless people and women walking around in like a bikini top is their only shirt and whatever. It's like there was an element of trashiness to Vegas that was not present previously or after. That was the only trip that I've had
Mm,
out there that I would say felt that just
yeah.
classless,
I
you
remember it
know?
being I remember getting off of the monorail one night going back to the hotel, and it was just dead. It was so
Yeah.
dead and there was nobody there. So I think for a while they did the $30 thing, like they cheaped it out and then they got back
Tried
to
to attract a bunch of people out
I
and
think it got wrong because they had so much crime and everything, and they
yeah.
had like
Well,
stabbings on
yeah,
the
they were having the
strip.
running gun battles and all kinds
Remember
of
they had
shit
the
going
fucking
on.
huge brawl at the Win? Like when would you normally
Yeah,
see a brawl at the Win?
you wouldn't.
During
You
that
wouldn't.
time because
Yeah.
that's what you attract, you
Yeah.
know.
No, it's
Um,
true.
But yeah, I mean, in general, I think Vegas has always just bumped up prices. It's always been expensive, but it's the city where money almost doesn't matter a lot of the times. You go there, you're like, it's Vegas. What are you
Yeah, I
going to do?
guess.
You're not going to get a
I mean,
cheeseburger for $30,
I will say the last, oh my God, I'm trying to think of the last time I gambled out there. And
Yeah.
I feel like it was 2019 that I
Oh,
actually did
were you gambling when I was there? You were doing
light,
slots.
light gambling,
Yeah, yeah,
light gambling.
yeah.
The last time I went out there with the intention of gambling, with a budget for gambling,
Hmm.
was 2019.
Hmm.
2020 when I went out there for TPE, dude, I mean I was running on like I did not have much cash for that
Yeah,
trip.
yeah, yeah.
Uh 2021 and 22 and then this year, look, I paid for what I needed to pay for.
Yep,
Meals were meals, this and this.
yep,
I had a little budget for gambling,
yep.
little, but I didn't have the like, hey, I've got $5,000 to go
Right.
and gamble with. Let's make it money. Let's make it rain. I mean, like,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it's been probably since 2019 that
Hmm.
that was available to me. So, that either says something about my own personal finances or it says something about the cost of going out to Vegas. Maybe a little bit of A, a little bit of B, but it's
Yeah,
definitely not the same.
price wise, it's. I think it's always going to be expensive, whether it's more or it's the same. It's always expensive.
Yeah.
You kind of got to pick and choose. I mean, there's ways around it now. Like, there's ways you can save some money. You don't go and fucking drink the bottle of water in your room every night, the bottle of Fiji that they put in there, because they're
Uh
going to charge you $8 for that, every single time.
huh.
So, like, for me, simple thing I always do, because I always stay the Venetian in Palazzo and they got a Walgreens right there. I check in the
Yeah.
hotel, I put my stuff down, I go down to Walgreens, I grab a couple snacks, and I grab a big case of waters, bring that up to my room, and that's what I have for the 3 days I'm there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not just eating that, but it
Oh
definitely
yeah.
saves,
Oh, for sure.
um, because I'm not buying bottles of water as I'm walking around.
I did that this past earlier this year for TPE, and when I
Hmm.
packed, I made sure I packed a lot of snacks for like the plane, which I didn't even touch because I sleep on the plane.
Hmm.
So then the whole time in Vegas, if I were in my room or whatever, I had my pre-packed snacks already there.
Hmm.
I didn't have to go down and get meals and that sort of thing. Because fuck, man, I mean, just going to that little shop in the whatever hotel you're in, you're
Hmm.
paying twice the price for whatever you're
Yeah.
buying.
Yeah, and and they're gonna get it. And the other
Yep.
thing is, have you seen the Sphere? Remember how they were doing the Sphere?
I've
Have you
seen
seen that?
pictures. I have not seen it in person. It was not lit up.
I haven't
The
in
last time I was in
person either.
Vegas was TPE, so I
Hmm.
haven't seen it. I haven't
Same.
seen it in person. But Trey Mack actually gave me a really funny story about that. His hotel room apparently faced it,
Hmm.
and so he said, it's really creepy when you open up your curtains in your hotel room and there's a giant eyeball staring
Yeah,
at you. And I'm
that's
like,
funny.
I think that would be really bizarre.
It's crazy what they can do with it. But now there's videos out there of the inside. It's the
Mm,
largest movie screen in the world. It's insane. You know how like IMAX is like, kind of takes up,
yeah.
dude, this thing, it's the whole freaking inside of that dome. It's ridiculous. You got to look it
What are
up.
they using it for?
So
Surely
it's
they're not
gonna
just using it for movies. I would imagine a
no, it's
concert
gonna be an
experience
event center.
there.
Like U2 is supposed to be open or
I was
coming up.
just about to say a concert in there would be
Mhm.
badass.
So you know what they're doing for concerts in there too. This is crazy. So with the technology that they have, which blew my mind when I heard this. So when they have a concert there,
Yeah.
they have headphones for people who don't speak English, let's say, right?
Yeah.
That they can hear the show in their own language. Isn't that
Wow.
fucking wild? How crazy is that? That's pretty
So like
cool.
is there some sort of like computer that's
It's like
translating it or
some
they don't have
AI stuff, I'm
people?
sure. No, I'm sure they
Well,
don't
I
have
mean, you
people
got
doing
you got Google Translate. So I mean like, yeah, exactly. That's the same concept. So
it. Hmm.
theoretically, some computer is hearing the show and translating it real time. That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I think they want, because like I said before, Vegas has, they're full blown now. They've gone from, the whole gambling aspect to that being the draw to entertainment. like more so than it ever has been.
Yeah.
You know, and that holds true with like all the residencies and stuff, especially with like Resorts World when that came out. They're still building the Fountain
You
Blue,
know, I
which has been
haven't
around for
been by
years.
there. Resorts World. I haven't been by there
Nice.
because that's where, what is it? The 8 Lounge?
A Lounge, yeah. Yeah,
To
Resorts World's
bring this
nice.
back to cigars for a split
Sure, yeah,
second. I
yeah.
mean,
Oh, that's what we're doing.
but yeah, but I mean, like the 8 Lounge, I haven't been there. You
It's
did
nice
go
there.
there. You
Yeah, it
went
was real
there
nice. Yeah, I liked it. I
this
liked it
year
a
or
lot.
last year?
Last year, not
I
this year.
feel
I
like
didn't go this year.
yeah, it was last year, I think.
Yeah, I went 2 years ago. I didn't go this year. No,
Okay.
but yeah, it's cool there. You know, I don't want to say it's another cigar lounge, but it's a cigar lounge that's pricey. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
I mean, it's
that's what happens in
Vegas.
Vegas,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But the thing is, when you go for TPE, you got so many cigars that you're getting there. You're
Yeah.
bringing your own to begin with that you can smoke all over the place.
Yeah.
So, you know, going to a lounge, I think we talked about it, going to a lounge while you're there, is it really what you want to do? Sure, maybe one night you go and you sit and you have two and a couple drinks, like the lounge in Caesars. Monte Cristo Lounge is all right.
I
You
like the
know,
Monte Cristo Lounge.
that's
That's where I
cool.
bought my first cigar.
We rented a we were there for March Madness last year.
That's right. You told me
We
that.
rented a whole day there. It was fucking awesome. It was great. You
Yeah.
know, so but stuff like that is cool. But if you want to go in and have, you know, one or two before or after dinner, I think that works, you know.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have like a big group dinner, TPE, if we can get a bunch of people.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I so okay, since we're talking about TPE for a moment, was it you? Who was it I was talking to about that the
We
other
were talking about
day?
the other day. You
Was
and
it
me.
you and me? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, how do you think TPE and PCA are gonna go?
I think this year it's gonna go
I'm gonna
normal.
put it in the sand right now, and this is gonna be this is gonna be the
Yeah.
prediction for how this
Yeah.
goes. So you think they're both gonna go like normal?
I think it's gonna be normal this year, to be honest with you. I think there's gonna be a few that don't show to one and show to the other.
Yeah.
Which one that's going to be, it's all come down to cost.
Obviously, we're only talking cigars, not so much the blue carpet stuff.
No, yeah, no, no, for sure.
That stuff's they're locked and loaded with TP, but we're just talking cigars.
Yeah, for cigars, and I think it's going to come
Yeah.
down to cost. I think all the big players are going to be at both, and I think you're going to see some of the mid-level brands only at TP
Really? So you think the mid-level brands,
because of cost-wise, because it's
mid-level
so
and
close.
up, or
No, mid and below.
really? So you
I
think
think
the little guys?
I think
are
the
gonna go to
bigger guys are going to be at
TPE?
both. I think the bigger guys are going to be at both because they can afford it, and I think
See, I think the
medium
opposite.
guys are going to be at one. TP
See,
is less expensive.
Yeah, I get that, but I think the opposite. I think that realistically, if you were to poll, I think I heard somewhere that there's like a little over 4,000 cigar shops in the country.
Okay.
Let's say you poll, I don't know, 200 cigar shop owners. That's a decent sample size out of 4,000. Sure. You know, you pull 2,000 cigar shop owners and you say you have two trade shows in Las Vegas. One is happening in January, one is happening in March. The one in January, you have cigars, but then you have all this other stuff. The one in March, it's 100% cigars. Which one are you going to go to? I think.
How much does each one cost?
Yeah, but for the retailer to go,
how much does each one cost?
Yeah, but I don't think I think they're going to pull the trigger on PCA.
Okay.
I think some of these guys are used to my mosquito thing is beeping at me. I think the retailers are used to PCA. I think that's the way.
That was your pacemaker for a second.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I don't have a pacemaker. But anyway,
bad ticker. I got a bad ticker. See, you got this little machine tells me when I'm dying.
I think ultimately it's going to be where the crowds go, and I think where the crowds go is going to be where the manufacturers go. And I think before it's all said and done, I feel like TPE was the one that cigar shop retailers were saying, I'm going to go to PCA. If I have time, if I have money, if I have nothing else going on, I'll consider going to TPE.
So you're talking retailers?
I'm talking retail. Well, I think it's going to be a domino effect. I think when the retailers ultimately make a decision And I suspect, I don't know this for certain, but I suspect, look, your gas station owners, your whatever, maybe the guys that have like tons and tons of cash and can afford to go to both, I think they're going to still go to TPE. Ultimately, though, I think your average cigar shop owner is going to pick one. I think they're going to pick PCA. And I think at that point, you're going to see the brands say, why am I spending money on TPE when I can just be it? And I think that's where the little guys and the mid-level guys are going to say, we can't afford to do both. If the retailers we want to hit are only doing one, we need to go to the one that they're going to. And I think that's where PCA wins it.
Okay, I don't disagree with you on that. I think you're right, but that's what you're talking about from a retailer side to start the domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
From a brand side, I'm saying the big guys go to both. The
Oh,
smaller
look,
guys are going to go to TPE because I think TPE has more of the, I hate to say it, but the influencer community there. And what
yeah,
better way to get some better marketing and better exposure than utilizing these people, getting your brand
true.
out there even more? Because, I mean, more of those people go to TPE than they do PCA, right?
Oh, I would agree with
So,
that.
okay. So, what that means is that's more social media exposure. That's free exposure for these brands. They're going to be more willing to talk and do the interviews like with someone like yourself. Um,
I guess
but
my question becomes at that point, not to interrupt, my
yeah,
question
yeah.
becomes at that point, what is the value of that versus the cost of not just getting the space at TP, but also having to set up, having to worry about the union charges and everything for all the
Yeah.
setup, the travel for your sales team or whoever to be out there, cost of shipping product out there and back and everything like that. I just, when it
Yeah, but
all,
they pick the one is what I'm saying. They're not going to pick both right away. And this is only for 24. I think they're going to see what you're talking about because I can see that happening with the retail
Mhm.
side. And I think then everybody's going to look at 24 as okay, who did what and how did
Yeah.
it go? And then 25 is going to be okay, if it's this close again,
And
then
that's the
I'm
thing.
picking PCA.
25 is a whole nother shit show because
Mm-hmm.
25 PCA shifts from March to April down in New Orleans and is now on the same weekend as I think French Quarter Fest,
Yeah.
which I mean, for fuck's sake, that's the second biggest event in New Orleans behind Mardi Gras.
It's more
So,
potential customers too.
dude, potentially, but the thing about it is you're going to have to find hotel rooms
Yep.
and hotel rooms are going to be hard to get and also expensive because of the
Yep.
weekend that it is.
Yep.
So I don't know. The next couple of years with the trade show thing, I think is going to be very interesting to kind of follow how that all goes.
Mm.
And I don't know. I know we were talking about Vegas and this somehow spun into this,
Does
but
does PCA though? Does PCA do the same thing as TPE, like with like the Sahara? So TPE you can get the rooms at Sahara. I don't think PCA
I'm
does that with the Venetian.
Oh,
I
I don't
find
know.
that
I'll
hard.
be honest. I've never looked because
That I
the
don't
thing
know.
is, and I'm just going to be honest with it. As a media that I need to sign up with PCA as a media partner, which is like I
Mhm.
think a $400 or $500 annual fee for me to
See,
do.
that's the thing. It's more
And then at
expensive.
that it is, and and it screens out people, and I
Hmm.
get it. And so, well, I mean, let's be real. They've been fighting lawsuits. They need the money, but
Yeah, they're gonna get it back.
yeah, I know. But you get my point though, is that I've never looked because I've never really had an I mean, I've had opportunity to go if I were to spend that money, and
Right.
I haven't valued spending that money to go yet. So
Yeah,
that's
look,
just
for someone like me, TP is far better right now.
yeah.
But again, I'm not a big player. I'm not as big, but I think that's why the smaller guys start with TP next year because they're going to be that's too damn close, especially
Oh, it's
Vegas,
completely too close.
especially
Way
in
too close.
Vegas. You can't go back to back like that.
No.
That's so much in resources for your
I would be
company.
very curious to know why that shift took place. I have suspicions, but I mean, it may be completely innocent. It may just be this is when the convention center said, "Yeah, we can fit you in, but you got to do it here." And BCA was like, "Okay, fine,"
So wait,
But
what's moving to New Orleans? PCA or TPE?
PCA is moving to New
Okay.
Orleans.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It's
yeah.
I think I don't know when I mean most people are are putting orders in when for shops. Like they're not going to get them for the most part for a
Well,
couple months, right?
and see, and
So
therein lies another thing. I mean, it all depends on the retailer you're talking to.
right,
Talk to a guy like Dave Garofalo. He's thrilled that it's going to be in the first quarter of the year because he puts in his orders and then the stuff starts
correct.
rolling in. And then at that point in the summertime, he doesn't have to pull his team away to go to Vegas in July when it's busy as hell, retail wise. He can actually like and have product coming in. But then
So
when you talk to littler guys, like for example, Dan, let's be real, the first quarter of the year, you're struggling to get by because, the
well,
the
most people
register's
tighten their
not
belt
the
in the
register's not
beginning,
ringing nearly as
right?
well because people aren't smoking as much. People are recovering from Christmas, and so they're not seeing a lot of business. So
Right.
it all depends on what,
Yeah.
shop your level you're talking about. Now I know Dave's talked about mortgage your house in order to get some cash in order because you'll pay it back, blah blah. Look, that I respect that. It's an interesting idea, but even as a guy who doesn't own a shop, when I hear that, I initially cringe at that idea just because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that's my freaking house.
See, I don't cringe at
So
that. I think I get it, and
I
it's
get
money,
it.
especially
It
because you're living in an investment to begin with. So why not use that if you're going to get it back?
I get it.
Not everybody knows they're going to get it back. He knows it's different.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. He knows, whereas your average little guy may not necessarily have that confidence level.
Sure, sure.
So I
But
don't know. It all depends.
yeah, I don't know. I think next year we'll determine it. That's all. I don't think it's going to be. Um,
It'll
I don't
be
think we're going
interesting to
to
see.
know. Yeah, I just think it's too close together all around. Um,
I'm just saying that in terms of
I don't know.
predictions, line in the sand right now, I am saying for God and everybody, I think you're going to see less brands at TPE that it when saying, look, I have to choose one or the other. I don't have the
In
budget for
24 or
both.
25.
I think 24. I think you're going to
Okay.
see brands that say, I don't have the budget for both. They're going to say, I'm going to go with PCA because I know 100% of that audience is into my product. Whereas at TPE, theoretically a third or maybe are into my product and the rest are into gummies and cigarettes and
But
pot and
what's
mushrooms and
stopping
whatever
these
else.
people, Nick? What's stopping these people though from making PCA time offers when not having to go? Like, hey, PCA is around the corner. Look, we're not going to go.
Oh,
We're
absolutely
not going.
nothing.
We're offering you this. So I mean, they can do that
There is
still.
no,
So
that's the thing. Absolutely nothing stops them from doing
mhm.
that. You just got to have a sales force to go out and actually like tell your customers, or at the very least, a very robust, email marketing or some sort of marketing platform
Yeah.
where you can let your customers know, hey, we've got these specials going on. We're not going to be at the show, but if you want to get show deals, this is your
Well,
opportunity.
if they're smart, they're going to do that at TPE. They're
Oh,
going to say, hey,
100%.
look, buy now. That's fine. That's great. Here's the deal. We're going to have something at PCA
And
time
see,
too.
and
But
therein lies an interesting point. You may have just figured that, kind of solidified this for me.
mhm,
A small brand that has the budget to only be at one show,
they're going to go
are
to
they going to?
TPE.
I see. I think they're going to go PCA, and I think they're going to blast out deals at TPE time in order to generate a little cash,
Oh,
at
you're
that
going
time.
opposite. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going opposite.
maybe.
See,
Maybe.
the big guys are going to do both because they have the budget for it, they have the sales force for it, and realistically, what was I talking about with the grocery store? The big guys are who is present at this grocery store. The big guys are who you see at the little roll up, liquor stores and those kind of places. I mean,
Mhm.
the big guys are more prevalent everywhere. So, yeah, Fuente, General, Altadis, they're going to go to both because they can.
Right.
Whereas like somebody like, for example, oh God, I mean,
Well, look at Renee. Let's talk about Renee.
Villiger. I mean, let's be real. Villiger's a big company
Sure, because
in
they're big
Europe. So
overseas.
like
Yeah.
they have a big presence. It's just not so much necessarily right now in the, northern North America area, but like there's money behind Villiger. I'm thinking like
What
a
about like an All
southern
Saints?
like a southern
Or
draw in all
yeah,
states. Precisely. I mean, those Crux, one of those kind of brands that,
yeah.
that when they're looking at it, are they saying like, oh God, we do this here, we do this here. What are we gonna do? I'm telling you, my gut tells me that the retailers are gonna pick PCA, and I think the brands follow the retailers. And to your point, maybe that takes a year for the brands to realize, holy shit, the retailers all went with this. We need to shift. But I think that shift is going to happen at some point.
Yeah, I don't think it happens this year, but I don't know my ass
But
from my elbow on that, but that's what
but
I feel about.
I will say this: these retailers they're going to have had a year to prepare for this because
Mm.
TP was what, February this year. You
Mhm.
know, PCA announced its whole March thing not too terribly long after TP,
Mhm.
I don't believe. So like it's been nearly a year by the time these shows happen that everybody's had time to plan. If a manufacturer was smart, let's just draw a name out of a hat. If Drew Estate was smart, well, they're big. They're going to
They're
go to
big,
both.
yeah.
But like, let's say a Mickey, let's say an All Saints Cigars, All Saints Cigars. If he's smart and he knows that this is going to be a thing, if I were him, I'd be directing my sales force that when you're out talking to your customers, when you're out doing your sales calls, ask your retailers,
Sure.
hey, next year we got 2 trade shows coming up at a relatively close period of time. Are you leaning towards one or the other? Do you go to both? Are
Yep.
do you only go to this? Do you only go to that? Start getting the data and start
Mhm.
looking at it because I think that is going to dictate who goes where.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see. It just sucks that they're so close together.
It does.
I wonder. I'd have to look. I'm sure PCA's there during March Madness too, so that's going to up a lot of costs.
Yep.
So it's
That's
the end of
true.
March, right?
Yeah,
Like 23rd or something like that.
it's late March, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
So
that's
yeah,
March Madness
I'm
time, and
pretty
that's
sure
when
it's March
prices are going to
Madness
be
time.
up. Yeah,
And Vegas
so
is going to be freaking crazy.
that's another factor.
Yeah.
It's especially see, I've always wanted to go to PCA because it's at the Venetian
Yeah.
at the same,
But
and
see
that's where I
this
stay.
but see
And I
next
would
but
love to.
next year it's not
No,
24.
next year it's not
It's
right.
at the same convention center that
Right,
TP's at.
right, right.
So, you're not you're not even getting that. So
It's crazy.
anyway, well, speaking of Villiger,
Ooh,
it's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So we are smoking the Villiger Miami 2023. I don't know where you're at in this cigar,
I
but
am cruising through it.
I've just kind of come to the start of the final third. I may have
Yeah,
entered the
same.
final third at this point. Um, I've really enjoyed this Villiger Miami so far. I would say that it is very smooth. I
Hmm.
would it's solid. It says on the card medium. I think it's a medium. I think it's a light medium.
Yeah,
I don't
the medium
necessarily
max, medium at the
yeah,
max.
medium at the max. I
Hmm.
would say that it's a light medium. The retro hail is where the punch is at in this cigar.
Hmm. I'd give it a
But the
4 on the strength.
strength wise, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The retro hail might pump it up just a little bit more for me. If you include that in, I'd say solid 5. But the actual but smoking experience, yes, 4.
yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, even with the retro, I mean, the retro does kick that in, but you have to retro for it. Even though I do that all the time, still,
Mm-hmm.
I would still give it a 4. Um, but yeah, it's a good cigar. It's surprisingly really flavorful.
Yeah.
It's definitely complex. I mean, I didn't sit and try and figure
No,
out the
I
flavors and
say
stuff,
we're
but
not.
you could
You know.
tell.
Yeah. But no,
You can
there's.
tell for
I mean,
sure.
I've smoked a fair number of Villigers, and this one coming in at $17 MSRP, that's probably on the higher side of their portfolio.
Yep.
But if you're going to present this as a limited edition release, 10,000 cigars, put out total, and then also kind of like a higher end product. I think the smoking experience warrants that $17. I mean,
Well, the
look,
experience is no problems at all.
no, I mean, look, is it a $25 smoke?
No.
I think 17's fair. I I think 17's fair. But yeah, No, I'm
Sure.
digging it. So, Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report. What have you been watching? Did you figure it out?
I
Want me to
do.
go?
I remember one thing I don't think we talked about last time, or if I watched it after. Um, but I've been doing more podcasts. Yeah, you go because I literally just had another one that I thought of that I forgot. Go ahead, you go
So I
first.
so I spent some time at the movie theater yesterday. I
Ooh,
got done with the newspaper
the adult
relatively
theater?
re- yeah.
Mm,
No.
Pee
No,
Wee.
no, no. No, no, no. I spent some time at the
Ah!
no, I went and did a double feature yesterday because at the
Mm,
movie theater here on Tuesdays, it's $6 tickets. So
mhm.
no matter what it is, even if it came out the Friday prior, it's $6. And I don't normally get to do that because, like I said, normally it's my layout day, but I got done really early to where I found myself in the afternoon going like, shit, I got time. I'm going to go to the movies.
Nice.
And so I did a double feature. I went and saw Blue Beetle, which is the
Okay. Yep.
superhero,
Yep.
DC superhero. And you know what? Look, is it the best movie ever made? No, but it was entertaining. It was fun. I didn't need to watch 19 other movies in order to enjoy it. I think it's a good family film. It definitely emphasized, the importance of and the strength of family. It uh I mean, like, it wasn't, there's nothing gratuitous in it. So like I said, I think for what it was, I think it was a really solid movie. And it didn't do that well in the box office, but there were probably 8 or 10 of us in there at 6:20 on a Tuesday night. So I mean, realistically, I don't think that's too bad. I think it's got some legs to it, but whatever, I mean,
Did you
it's
sit right
it's
next to somebody?
no, I did not, thankfully. I hate that. So I don't know how it is with theaters where you're at, but like all the ones here have gone to that thing where you go online and you pick your seat
Right.
and it's like the love seats, and they
Yep.
do the
Yep.
reclining and all that shit and everything. I always look for an empty love seat and I pick a spot. And the only time I've ever gone to a movie by myself where I've had to share a love seat with somebody, and thankfully there is the armrest in the middle. So like,
Hmm.
I mean, you can raise it if you're there with like a lady friend and you want to like snuggle, but like,
Oh.
I kept it down. Was the Avengers Endgame,
Mm.
the big Avengers movie. I was able to I shared that with a gentleman. I don't, whatever. It is what it is. But it was fine.
Yeah.
But no, Blue Beetle was good. And then the other movie that I went and saw right afterwards was just the biggest piece of brain candy, like all sweet, no nutritional value whatsoever. The Meg 2.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's Jason Statham fighting giant fucking sharks.
Oh my God.
So the Meg
Sounds
is
awful.
it's the megalodon shark,
Okay. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
the super giant great white. So they did the Meg, and that came out a while ago. That had Rainn Wilson and Jason Statham in it and everything. Well, this is the sequel. And in this
Yeah.
one, Jason Statham and his crew, they go into the trench where they go past the cold water barrier thing that keeps the Megs down in the hot, the water in the trench and everything. They go down there and they find, like, oh, there's people mining for valuable minerals and shit down here and whatnot. And so anyway, chaos ensues. There's Megs, there's multiple Megs, multiple giant sharks this time. There's these like little like proto fish amphibian things that can like be on land but also are in the water, that are almost like velociraptor kind of deals. And then also, of course, at the end, you get a giant, I mean giant octopus that
Mm.
comes out from underneath there. And
Sounds
so
amazing.
by the end of this thing, you're on this island. It's called Fun Island, which it's basically a resort island. And like, there's Megs just eating people left and right. There are giant octopuses lifting people out and eating them. I mean, then at one point you get a fight between the giant octopus and a Meg shark, and it's just epic.
Who makes this shit? I
oh,
mean,
dude, this was the
Jesus.
biggest freaking piece of brain candy. And like Jason Statham's on a freaking jet ski with, I swear to God, I'm not even joking. He took oars and he used a hacksaw to cut them at an angle to make a spear. And he attached explosives on it. So he's got 4 of them. And he's on this jet ski and he's going around and there's 4 megs in the water and he's trying to get close so he can like chuck it at the and like blow up a meg. And he did
Oh,
that
so
to
he
like
had 4 for 4 sharks.
4. He had 1 shot per shark and he got 1 of them. But then like before, and I'm going to spoil this. So at the end, there's 1 shark left and a helicopter has gone down. And he's like rushing over to get to the people at the helicopter. And he's on this like rocky, very small little rocky island thing. And the helicopter blade, which mind you is freaking huge,
Mm-hmm.
is like on this rock. And so the Meg is going for the people in the helicopter. Well, he takes the blade and he bashes it against the water a couple of times in order to track the Meg. The Meg comes over and jumps up like this to try and like if he's here, the Meg's coming up like this to like eat him. Well, he takes the helicopter rotor blade thing, puts it up like this and braces it against the rocky like island thing and just impales the Meg like as it's like coming at it. He fucking impaled a megalodon on a helicopter blade, dude.
I
I
can't.
No, dude, it was the cheesiest, most awesome,
Sounds it.
like, oh, it was badass.
Not the awesome part. It sounds cheesy.
Oh, dude, I was sitting there the whole time just like, this is so fucking stupid, but I love it so much. It was so dumb. But yeah, so the Meg 2, if you want
Meg
some
2.
just cheesy, absolutely nothing but ridiculous giant shark versus, Jason Statham action, the Meg 2. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you mentioned movie theaters. So I don't know if you've seen this. I ended up catching this like, I don't know if it was a YouTube short or what, but it was this whole like prank thing set up where they filled the theater with all these rough, tough like biker dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and they only left, the whole theater was filled with them, like they're in the leather vests and we got 10% left, leather vests and all this shit. And then
Well, we're speeding this episode up, I guess.
Yeah, right. And they only left 2 seats in the middle of all of them. And they had couples coming out of the tunnel looking up going like, what the fuck? So most of them walked out. They didn't even go into the movie. So one couple decided to walk in, and when they sat down, like the whole place cheered, lights went on, they cracked beers, and it was pretty funny. It was kind of cool to see. It was like a nice social experiment.
There
It
you
was
go.
pretty funny. So
there you go.
But yeah.
So what have you been watching?
Okay, so I watched.
Before I lose you.
That's okay. I can actually hop on my iPhone too if I need to. So I watched this thing. It's on YouTube. A friend of mine told me about it. I forget what it's called, but it's like the Vegas mole people. It's all about the tunnels and the communities in Vegas. So all the homeless people that live down there, and how they get. So you've seen recently it got super flooded. They talk about the floods that go through there because all the water comes down into these tunnels.
Okay.
It fills these tunnels, and these people they call it the ride. They end up going for the ride, and they die for the most part. Some of these people have survived it, but it's just crazy. They're homeless and they live under the tunnels. It's wild to like see the community down there and the people that they interview. One guy's funny, but they're crazy. You know what I mean? Like to live in a freaking tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable. Like they're not allowed to go in the casinos. As soon as they walk in, they got security taking them out, stuff. It's a pretty cool doc to watch. I think it's called Vegas Mole People.
What was that on?
YouTube. It was just like a 40-minute YouTube thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I watched that, and then the other thing, I don't remember if I watched it. Did I tell you I watched finally? I've been wanting to see it forever. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
No,
I watched it. I rented it and watched it one night.
Oh God, you were talking about that the last time you were on.
Oh my God,
gonna rent it, but okay.
Fucking hilariously bad. It's just it's terrible, but it is so. I mean, it's the premise is fucking hilarious. I mean, look, Christopher Robin leaves for college, and he leaves them to fend for themselves, and then they become feral. So like Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and oh god,
Piglet, he's running
Piglet,
around
yeah,
with,
Piglet.
yeah.
They become feral, and they're just like against humans, and like they hate humans and everything. So Christopher
Oh
Robins, it
my
starts off where he
God.
brings his girlfriend there to show. He's like, Pooh, where are you? And then it's just like one of those gory 80s, like,
Slasher things at that
yeah,
point.
oh my god, it's terribly bad. I enjoyed watching it. It was funny. I laughed a lot.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so it was that, and then the only other thing I could think of is the I've been continuing that Michael Jackson podcast. That's been really good.
I started listening to that, and that is
Yeah.
good. I think I've got maybe 2 episodes banked up that I still need to listen to. I've been behind on my podcasts.
Hmm.
It's like I was saying, I think the last time. Sometimes I'm in the mood for music in the car. Sometimes I'm in the mood for podcasts. And
Yeah, same.
driving around today, it was all music. Like, I still haven't listened to Saturday Cigar Authority. I need to do that.
I
But
did that. I listen to that usually when I'm doing the lawn. It's pretty good. It takes just exact amount of time because I listen to
there
everything
you
at
go.
one and a half speed. You know.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Because you're
yeah.
busting through it.
And
That's
like,
right.
yeah.
We all sound like chipmunks.
Well, no, it actually is weird because if I listen to it on regular speed, you sound like
Yeah.
super slow. It's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it that I can think of. It's been a lot of sports because football's back now. So
Yeah.
a lot of football.
Boy, I saw the highlight reel for Aaron Rodgers
Oh my
with the
God.
Jets. It basically was just video of him coming out of the tunnel holding the
Mhm.
American flag, and that was the extent.
What's funny about that is
I don't
so
want to laugh at somebody's misery, but like,
no.
holy shit, man.
So what's funny is like all these like sports books, right? When
Yeah.
they get new customer offers, so they call them boosts.
Yeah.
So there was this one little small sports book that for all new customers in the first week, they got this special boost bet for Monday Night Football. And the
Okay.
bet was usually it's like minus like 2,000. You got to lay $2,000 to win $1, right? Because it's
Yeah.
an automatic. It's a slam dunk. So, but this offer was Aaron Rodgers over a half a passing yard, 0.5
Oh
passing yards over.
shit.
So the amount of new customers that must have, I don't know the numbers, but everybody, and then they usually max it at $50.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how many, like, that's like, oh my God, it's free $50. What the hell? They all
They
lost.
didn't get it. They all lost.
Imagine that. And I don't know if they refunded it. I think they should have refunded it because it would have been great publicity for them and they could just grow even bigger. But how fucked up is that? That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Like
So
DraftKings does stuff like that. Like they
Yeah.
did it Monday night. Like basically had a free $50.
I think they did that Super Bowl bet where it was like, pick the winner of the Super Bowl and you got, $50. It was like a $5 bet and you won $50 or something like that.
But like
And
this week, Monday night, DraftKings had, for some people, not everybody, they had just 1 point in the game needs to be scored. Max $50 wager, just one.
wow.
So I was like, okay, it's free $50.
Well, it's
But
like
it's
I would
smart
say
because everybody's going to keep it in there and just keep betting it.
for sure. Yeah.
So it's like giving free
Interesting.
money. Yeah, so that was funny. That was the funniest thing. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but it's like I was wondering why Zach Wilson's mom wasn't trending that night. It's that was the biggest shock of everything.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
oh,
okay.
you got to look her up. Yeah, she's attractive.
Zach Wilson's mom.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's real quick. Just why not?
Yeah, sure. I'm sitting on 6%. What the hell?
Zach Wilson's mom images. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's his mom?
Well, there's some that his girlfriend that pops up, but his mom you can see. Yeah, for sure. Right?
That's the blonde here?
Yeah.
That's his mom?
No. That's his mom. Yep.
Holy shit.
Right?
Yeah, she does not look like she'd be but he's awfully young.
No, he's super young. Yeah, he's only like 22, 23.
So shit. She could be like my age. I don't know.
She's not on your apps, trust me.
No, I know she's not. Anyway,
haven't found that one yet.
I haven't found that one yet.
Let
Yeah.
me
So,
see.
all right. Well,
You know what?
okay.
Let me see if I can hop on. Will this allow me to join? Oh yeah,
Mm,
look at that.
did you join there?
I'm joining Wi-Fi.
How's this gonna work? This is gonna be
Hold
like this
on.
weird Inception where I have like 3 screens going.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, what is happening?
Oh, now we're on the iPad again.
I don't know. It depends on when we talk. All right, hold on. I'm gonna
So
exit out of this one.
you got to bail out of one, and then you're in that. Wow,
Hold on. Now let me.
technology. Oh, can you swivel it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
Bang. Oh.
Wow.
Can I do that? I don't think I can do a different view here, though. Can I?
You sound a little different.
I was gonna say,
Are,
does it sound different?
are your headphone? Is your microphone plugged into the iPhone?
It is now. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound a little different.
Hold on.
Like you sound.
Is
It
it
doesn't.
different?
It doesn't sound like it's coming through the microphone. It sounds like it's coming through your phone.
Yeah, it doesn't sound. Yeah, it does sound like I'm coming through the phone. Hold on.
I don't know
Wonder.
if like some way you can pick your phone as the or your microphone as the input. I don't know. We're doing this on the fly, folks. You're just gonna have to accept it. This is what you get with a free podcast. Now I can't hear you at all. You're just you're
No.
now connected to audio.
Yeah, I'm connected to audio. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I mean I can hear you. You just don't. It sounds like you're coming through the
Weird.
phone, not the head, not the
Probably because I
microphone.
did the double. I just quit.
Yeah.
Oh, how's that?
Oh, I don't know. Say
Can you hear
something
me
else.
now? Yeah.
I mean, I can hear you.
I'm
Yeah,
not hearing you through my headphones. That's the crazy part.
yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. This is. There's something going on. I don't know.
Let me back out and come back in. Hold on.
Okay, we can do that. We'll take a break here. So, guys, I guess while he's gone, this will be the moment that I talk about My Monthly Cigars. It is a premium cigar subscription service where you can get a box of cigars sent to your door every month. I get the Robusto box, which is 4 cigars for $30. He also has the El Presidente, which is 8 cigars for $50. And if you use offer code Pulpit, PULPIT, gets you free shipping on your first box. So while you're over there at mymonthlycigars.com looking at cigars, make sure you check out the reviews from our friend 30 My Sticks 35 millimeter, and then also check out that fucking good coffee because
Fucking
it's
good.
fucking good. Don't be a fucker. Get the fucking good coffee.
Can you hear me now? Better?
I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had to log out, log back in. So
I got you. Nope. All better now.
cool, man. I'm 6% on the iPad. I got a lot of battery on this. Shit, let's stay up till 5 a.m. Why not?
Oh fuck. No.
Mm-hmm.
I still got more work to do. This has been a busy damn day, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
like I talked to you about it earlier. This has just been one of those days that just like didn't seem to ever end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I have
It is
days
what
like
it
that.
is. It
Tomorrow
happens.
will be nice and chill.
Tomorrow's supposed to be super nice here, weather-wise. I can't
Oh,
wait for
dude,
that.
I'll tell you what, we have some gorgeous weather here in St. Louis pretty much for the next God knows how long. Looking ahead at the forecast for Pulpit Fest weekend. It's actually a good segue there. I looked ahead here. Son of a bitch. Come on. There we go. Looking ahead. So, okay, well, that's unfortunate.
Uh-oh, rain.
Yeah, actually, it does look like rain. There was not rain in the forecast just the other day. There actually
Ah,
was
shit
sunny.
changes so fast.
Sunny. That's the thing. So hopefully, and it's only 37%. So like realistically, it may not even be an impact. But temperature wise, we're looking at like 76 and 74 for the 2 days of
That's
Pulpit
awesome.
Fest. So like it's gonna be gorgeous weather for sitting out and having cigars. And the nice thing is, look, Top Shooters has a covered patio as well as their outdoor patio. So we can sit and smoke there if need be. And then additionally, Dan's place has the 1,500 square foot covered patio there for Saturday for the first part of the day. And then the second place that we're going on Saturday, the 23rd, lit, that's indoor. So, like, I mean, not that Dan's not indoor, but he has both indoor and outdoor.
Mhm.
Lit it's bigger on the indoor, and so there's a lot more space. So realistically, we're rocking and rolling, and if it rains, it rains. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Either which way, we'll make it work. So
Cool.
hopefully it doesn't rain though, because that
Hopefully
would
it
suck.
doesn't.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, it rained a little bit last year
It
at
did
Top
just a
Shooters.
little bit at Top
Mhm.
Shooters there. Realistically though, I think it'll be fine. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
yeah, I'm not concerned. But like I said, 37%,
Oh God, I'm not worried about that. Yeah,
that's not that big of a deal. And it's not like it doesn't look like it's thunderstorms. It looks like it's just rain. So
there you go.
we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
It's all about the company.
Exactly. So final thoughts on the Villiger Miami 2023. I just put mine down. I was down to the
Yeah, I got a little bit left.
Yeah, you got a
it's good
little
cigar.
bit more. I'm
Good
digging
cigar.
it. The spice level was definitely there on the retro hail. I feel like that picked up as the cigar went along as well. The I feel like the strength, the body of the cigar ramped up a little bit as it went along too. I feel like in the beginning it was very smooth, and I would say light.
Oh yeah, it was super light to start.
But
I'm at a 4 still. I don't think it's gone past that.
That final third I think picked up versus that final third and the first third were different.
Well, if you compare it to the cigar we just smoked for the other show, for the review show,
this one was lighter. This one was lighter.
Yeah,
this one was definitely lighter than the one that we did for the review show.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. Which, guys, at some point that'll be coming soon on this feed. So if you subscribe to the Cigar Pulpit on any of the podcast feeds, you'll also be getting that as well. So, you can find out what's in our mouths.
Yeah, give us some feedback too. We're gonna need that. We want to know what you think, and
it's very cigar heavy. It's not like you're not gonna get the BSing back and forth on that like you get here. It's
we
very
got a little
cigar.
blue, I think, but tiny bit.
Yeah, but like
not like this shit.
No, it's nowhere near as loosey goosey as this.
No, it'll be a tighter show. It'll be shorter. It'll be it's good, and I think it'll be good for people who who want to learn about tasting cigars. Listen, you and I are learning about it while we do it.
Oh, for sure.
And the cool thing is we're blind tasting cigars. We have no idea what they are. And we go through and we give you our flavor notes. And this one was interesting. It was a good cigar.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Yep. And then we'll give you our ratings and everything.
Not to spoil the end product and tell you what
listen, happened. It wasn't a blow my skirt up cigar, but it was a good cigar.
It was super solid.
Yeah. So yeah, take a listen to that. That should be coming out. This one's comes Friday, probably middle of next week, maybe.
Nah, that's all on you, buddy. You tell me.
Yeah, sure. I got to work on that. But we'll get it out next week. We'll get it out next week. It'll come out. I'm gonna shoot for Wednesday, but don't hold me to it.
All right. Well, sometime you guys will wake up one day and there'll be a new podcast, and you'll be like, "Wait, what is that?"
Wow, free content.
Yep.
Free shit.
So there you go.
Yeah, we give you free stuff all the time.
Free stuff.
Well, you give free stuff. Yeah. So
I mean,
I didn't listen to yesterday's show or Tuesday's show yet. Celebrity ones or famous historical.
I mean, look, it was a solo episode, and so
it sucked. Should I skip it?
It did not suck, but it was probably not. I mean, I'm freely willing to admit it was probably not top 20 episodes of all time, but it's one of those things that I when listener Paul was in town and he and I did that show at Riverman, he watches on the YouTube, and he acknowledged, we talked afterwards, and he said something that stuck with me. He said that original content, even if it's just me by myself, is way better than a repeat episode.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's not wrong.
And he's not wrong. So I'm like, you know what? And I've kind of kept that in my head. Look, in a perfect world, would I have had somebody to talk to? Yes. But a lot of things took place to where
it's so hard when you don't have friends. I get it. Like, I know,
Yeah. So anyway, so I had to do what I had to do. And so, I got an episode put together. It is what it is. and it's not bad. It's short. At least you're
Yeah.
only getting like 45 minutes worth of it
Sure.
instead of,
Sure.
not like be sitting talking to myself for an hour and a half. So,
That's good. That's always good. Yeah.
I mean, I think so.
Are
I don't know
your
what I don't know
none
what I
of
would talk to
your
myself for an hour and a half.
none of your Star Trek chat room buddies smoke cigars?
I don't have a Star Trek chat room that I
Not on the
belong to.
message boards or anything like
Not
that?
on not on the message boards in the Star Trek room. No,
GeoCities / Star Trek / NickMiller.com.
my screen name is Spock's Lover, and
Jesus,
no.
man, stop picking up the phone.
Meatloaf.
I'm online.
No, I do not do the Star Trek chat rooms.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, that was a good show with your dad, by the way. I don't know
I
if I told you
appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know
No,
if I told you. That was a good show.
he had a good
Disappointed
time.
nobody really called in, but he had a few,
Yeah,
and
it was
it
a
was
light.
yeah,
Nobody called in with like specifically like embarrassing.
right.
I mean, I guess there was the one that was
They
asking
had a
about me
chance to shoot their shot, and they didn't.
jerking
And
off. It's
that's
like,
on them, man. That's on
I
them.
know,
They didn't shoot their shot, and
you know.
it's it is what it is.
Well,
But it was a good show.
it's like I keep saying, the Ask the Boys thing, it's down to one a month because nobody calls in, and or very few people call in. So,
Yeah,
it's like I would bring it back as a weekly thing on the regular if I had the calls for it. And well, I don't. So,
yeah.
whatever, but such is life. So,
Oh well,
well,
their
speaking of
loss.
Ask the Boys, why don't we go ahead and get in the socials? And I'm available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm available on Facebook where we have the Cigar Pulpit Parishioners group, and that's a fun thing. You guys should get in on that. I'm on Twitter and X where I do every once in a while I do a little something something I haven't done. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
It's not a regular habit of mine, and so like I keep forgetting to do it.
Mhm.
YouTube where you can watch this, and guys, Ask the Boys area code 863-874-0000. Call in with your calls, questions, concerns, criticisms, whatever you possibly have. I want to hear it. It makes that episode so much better when there's a lot more interaction. I mean, I think at one point I had like, there was one episode where I think we had like 12 calls. Now, granted, like 10 of them were for Trent, but nonetheless, I mean, like it's more fun when we have a whole bunch of different calls. So, like,
Yep.
get your calls in, and obviously, you listen to this show. We talk about all kinds of shit. It doesn't have to be cigars. If you want to call in and talk about this planet that was discovered, say that. I don't care. Just let's get some listener interaction.
Give
Call in.
suggestions on the entertainment stuff too. Like I'd love
Oh,
to hear I'd love to
dude,
hear suggestions on
I know.
documentaries to watch or
Like every
podcasts.
episode, we're giving out what we're watching and entertained by. But like, guys, like, yeah, totally give us some suggestions because
Yep.
that's fun. I know last episode he was on, Mike Brinker was saying, give us your recommendations for cigars for smoking outdoors. I
Hmm.
mean, there's all kinds of things that you guys can give us. So just call in, throw out some stuff, be a part of the experience.
Be a parishioner. Otherwise, we'll kick you out of
Exactly.
the church.
Excommunicate you. But that's area code 863-874-0000. And everybody can follow you.
Well, don't be creepy about it, but yeah, on the socials, you can follow me.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
At My Monthly Cigars everywhere. I'm more on Twitter than Nick is. Actually,
You are.
who's on Twitter a little bit more is the King. The Fahking is on Twitter. So
Ah.
got to follow him there. And then, of course, FahkingGoodCoffee.com. Get yourself some pulpit blend. I was sucking that stuff down today like crazy.
Yeah.
I
You
was
sucking
drinking
it down?
that. I didn't mention that I was drinking that on the other episode we did. So
Ah.
I was drinking it iced. So it's awesome either way. Yeah.
Well, look at you.
Yeah, look at me. Look
Being
at
all
me.
being all bougie.
I like my iced coffee.
So okay. So like, all right, I'm gonna ask a very ignorant question.
Be ignorant.
And this is me literally showing my complete lack of coffee knowledge.
Okay.
So when you say iced coffee,
Hmm.
you brew it in the pot just like normal, and then you just pour it over ice.
So you can, yeah. I brew it over ice. So like for
Oh,
me, a lot of times what I'll do is you can do it that way. That's 100%. You can
so when
definitely do
you
it that way.
brew it over ice, how does that work?
So
Because
what
like
I do
I've
is I
just got,
have,
because you've seen my coffee. I have that
yep,
basic
yep.
coffee pot.
You can do that. That's something with that's definitely something you do. You fill your glass with ice, and then you fill. I usually do 8 ounces of coffee, um,
Because
over
I feel
ice.
like, do you let it come down to room temperature before you pour it over the ice?
No,
Because if it's
because what
coming
I
out,
do is actually
because if it's
to make
hot,
it
isn't it going
easier.
to melt that ice and just water it down?
Not completely. Not if you put enough ice in there.
Okay.
So, um, what I do is I actually to make it easier, I use my Keurig. I use the reusable cups where I can
Yeah.
fill it with ground coffee. So I'm not using the crappy, K cup coffee.
K cup. Yeah.
So I'm using, Fahking coffee and I'm putting that in the reusable cup and I'm putting a glass of ice underneath and I'm brewing it over the ice. And then I'll put in a little bit more ice if it's watered down too. I mean, if there's not that much ice in there. Um,
Okay.
the only time I drink coffee black, but when I have iced coffee, I do one little packet of Truvia
Okay.
and which is stevia, and then I do a splash, like literally a splash of half and half. I don't do
Okay.
that in hot coffee. I just do it in iced coffee. It comes out awesome, and the daily press is awesome over ice. So, but yeah, you can do it
Interesting.
either way. Like so in your case, you don't have the Keurig. You brew a pot and just have a whole big glass of ice, pour it over, and then toss in whatever you need, the milk or half and half or sugar or whatever. Um, yeah, it's very simple to do. I mean, cold brew is different. You have to actually brew that differently, like through it seeps essentially through all
Okay.
the grounds, and then that you can sit in the fridge. That takes a little bit longer, a lot longer actually than iced coffee. Iced coffee is instant; you do it right away. The cold brew you kind of give it a day, and then
Okay.
it's ready to go because it takes forever. You want the water to sit in the grounds, and then you will then release it, and it'll drip through into the carafe, and then you can drink it from there. So you pour that
Interesting.
over ice too. Yeah, there's multiple different ways. I do a lot of like, so I have an espresso machine. I'll do an espresso. I'll pour it hot in a little cup, espresso cup, and then I'll take. I use like a what the hell's it called? The shaker, like a for booze. What the hell's it called? We shake
Oh,
like the
yeah, I
drinks
know
in
what you
it.
mean.
Not colander, but anyway. So I'll put ice and a little bit
I
of
have
milk
the
in
word.
there.
Well, I'm not going to say the word I have in my
That's all
head
right.
because it's a little too
So I'll
close to
take.
whatever. But anyway,
So it's really good. I'll take
I'm sorry.
that.
How was that? What was that motion again?
Yeah,
By
I
the way.
know. I did. I made sure I stopped. Um,
And
I didn't want to do
suddenly,
that again. But I'll
suddenly,
put.
the gift from the other episode may or may not happen.
Maybe I
So,
won't post that. Yeah, so I'll fill that with ice, and then I'll put milk in there, a little bit of milk or a little bit of half and half, right?
okay.
Probably about maybe 2 ounces. And then I'll put the shot in there, the shot of espresso, and then I'll shake that up and it comes out and I'll pour it over another glass of ice. Like I'll strain it over a glass of ice, comes out awesome. Like, I mean, it just comes out with that, just like it looks amazing. I'll have to
Okay.
make one and post it. Now I actually want one, so maybe I'll make one tomorrow. Comes out phenomenal.
You
So
ought
that's
to
a
make
nice,
an instructional video.
yeah, I got to do a lot of things, Nick.
I mean, I'm just telling you, it's
I
an
know you're telling
idea.
me. You're giving me work now.
I'm throwing out ideas. You don't have to
Mm,
do shit. I'm just telling you that
you're right. I don't.
it might be an interesting thing for those of us who are
Hmm.
coffee ignorant to see like how this is done. But
Yeah,
you
it
know,
gets a little fancy with that. But yeah, I mean,
it
I could do
sounds
an
like it.
iced coffee. It's real simple. We
Okay.
just told everybody.
Exactly. So
Very
okay.
easy. I'm done with
All
this
right.
thing. I'm about to put it down.
Yep, I am done with my Villiger Miami. Once again, thank you to Renee from Villiger for sending the awesome swag for the goodie bags. Goodie bags will be available at Pulpit Fest. So if you're showing up to Pulpit Fest, you have Villiger to thank for the goodie bags.
Yeah,
So
I wish I was there just for that. What I saw,
oh yeah,
which
because
is
you saw
nice.
it. It's gonna be good. It's
Hmm.
gonna be real good. So
I won't be there, but I will be in the following week. I'll be at the New England Cigar Expo.
I
So
know
if you're going up there,
you're better dealing me for the bigger event.
well,
I get it.
hey, listen, you scheduled it. But listen, if you're going there, come find me. Say hi. I'll be there
There you
both
go.
days, Friday and Saturday for the dinner. And Dave's got some surprises, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited for that. That'll be good.
Micro wrestling turns into a micro orgy.
I hope that's not the surprise. I'll be honest with you. I
It
really
might.
hope it's not.
That's Mr. Jonathan's surprise.
I'm not gonna say it.
He's gonna run into the ring wearing a yellow ribbon, and all of a sudden everything just goes crazy.
Oh, that might be the surprise. Maybe the grappler shows up.
Ooh, now that could be fun.
Oh,
That could be
oh,
fun.
the grappler gets in the ring.
Grappler gets
Wow.
involved with the micro wrestling.
That would be something.
Okay, that would be pretty
something.
cool.
Yeah, that'd be really funny, actually.
It would be. If
I
that
love that.
happens, you gotta videotape. We gotta get
My
video of that.
my guess on one of the surprises, I and I'm probably way off, but I feel like Bill Burr is going to be showing up.
Oh fuck!
I think that
Come
would be
on.
amazing. That's what I mean. Look, they keep talking about him. I don't know. Not saying anything more. I don't know,
man.
But I
that would be a
maybe I'm dreaming.
That'd be a big get. That'd
Maybe
be a
I'm dreaming.
big get. Let's put it that way.
Hey, if anybody can pony up the cash, I know who can.
Yeah, that's
and it ain't me.
No, it's not. Anyway,
Well,
guys,
thanks for sitting with me for 6 hours tonight.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm Nick.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoky.
You know you got to change this music, right?
The front one, not this one.
Oh, not the back one.
Yeah, the back one's fine.
Sounds like a crazy porno.
Right.
Now it's getting real nasty. Someone just took their pants off. You want to see that? Delivery.
Let me smoke your cigar, honey.
What else do you do with that cigar? And then it kicks in the. Yeah, it's pretty good porn music.
I mean, you know, that's
why I picked it.
I mean, I didn't actually. I picked it because it was kind of like fun, happy at the end.
Yeah.
But you know,
fun and happy.
But porn music, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, now everybody's gonna think it's a porno. What would the porn name be for the Cigar Pulpit? Like, you know how they do like movies? They redo movies with porn names in them.
Yeah, like
what would the porn name?
Saving Ryan's Privates.
Yeah. What would the Cigar Pulpit be?
I don't know. What would the Cigar Pulpit porno name be?
That's interesting. That would be, you know what? Call in on Ask the Boys.
There you go. Ask the Boys. Area code 863-874-0000. And oh God, this is gonna go poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, but it might be good. Might be good.
There you go.
Oh well. Fuck it. I'm going to bed.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, man.